do you think, I mean, everything kind of gets wrapped up in a lovely bow, but do you think there could be space for more Fear Street something in the future?
100%. I think that the thing that like really drew me when I started talking about this was that we had the opportunity here to kind of create our own little horror Marvel universe. So for sure, I think there's lots of opportunity to keep kind of expanding it, and evil still exists. So,
is there something in the works?
Oh, I don't know. Is there?
How do we end this?
You have to go back to where it all started.
1666.
There's a really fun whodunit element that comes into play. I would love to know your reaction when you read or found out the ending and the big twist. The good is evil.
I was shocked, and like I remember reading that for the first time and just having to like go back to certain scenes and reread it, knowing what I now knew. And I'm just really happy that it translated on screen so well, and that it's just so satisfying after, you know, all the first two movies and all the gruesome deaths and all the mystery, just to kind of like finally put the pieces together. And it's, yeah, very satisfying to watch.
There's the idea behind it and the way she handled it. And the idea behind it, I was almost relieved. Like, this is exactly where the story needs to go. Like, I think after it happens, there's something so satisfying about it because of course that's who's responsible. And then there's how she did it, which is something else entirely. Like, I watched the third film last night, and seeing that moment when Dina and Sam, like, when their love actually transcends, like, actually heals Sam before the curse is broken, that actually, like, the idea that, like, love between people can heal as well. I found it moving now, thinking about it. I think that's Leigh's treatment of that is what makes this special and takes it out of this just simple idea.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, it's genius, really. Even the fact that his name is Nick Good and good is evil. It's just such a, you know, it's just so powerful. Like, you know, sometimes it's the people that are in certain positions that we, you know, might think are good, and then they actually end up doing the most harm. It's just, it's so deep. You know, I feel like it was just so genius and so clever.
And the fact that it played out over 3 movies to where you're really building up, like, what's happening, what's going on, and then at the last one, it's like... And I don't think that people will see it coming.
No.
I really don't.
But yeah, I love that moment because it kind of clicks and you are like, oh, you've realized that you've been watching these really, really, like, deep and wonderful and scary horror movies, and then you realize that it's all been, like, a real allegory for real life and the things that have happened throughout history and oppressions that have happened throughout history. And I just think it's so clever and so smart.
And I think the fact that it's back to back to back, it'll be to a point where people won't have enough time to even like put it together, and then they'll be like, oh my God.
Exactly. They don't have enough time to like stew on it and figure it out on their own.
Exactly.
It's been fun to talk to people who have seen them and be like, what do you think after the first one? And they're like, oh, I don't know, like, I'm excited to see what the witch looks like. And I'm like, it's not a witch. I'm like, it's a man, a human man, and he's the sheriff, so